So good evening, esteemed colleagues, leaders on this call. I welcome you especially. I may not be able to see everybody now because my attention is focused on this. But at the appropriate time, I think we'll recognize all leaders on this call. Thank you for joining us this evening again. So today we for a while now. Hey, my dear friend, Mrs. Olufunke Lunge, thank you for joining us this evening. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir.
I was just thinking about you this evening. I mean,
yes, sir.
I just thought about you this evening.
Thank you, sir. Okay. Amen. Amen.
Yeah, my pastor, Pastor Adulai. Thank you very much. That means we are covered in this meeting. We have the entire anointing, here with us. Okay. For the past few weeks, we've been examining workforce planning, the case study on workforce planning. And so last week, we just decided that we've had enough of workforce planning. Let's move to the next function of HR. And that's the reason we're exploring recruitment and selection today. And, we prefer doing case studies. So it can be participatory. All of us can learn together, including myself. And we will really look at this function of HR in practical terms. So I've shared this case, the story of Flux Technologies, a leading multinational technology firm in Silicon Valley, known for its cutting-edge products and innovative culture. The company has recently embarked on an ambitious global expansion plan aiming to establish new regional offices in Asia, Europe, South America within the next 18 months. They want to expand to all of these regions. And this expansion requires a strategic and highly coordinated recruitment and selection efforts to hire 2,000 new employees. Wow, huge. Ranging from entry-level positions to senior management positions. Okay, so the challenges: identifying and attracting top talent in diverse and competitive international markets, ensuring these new hires align with the company's innovative and fast-paced culture while respecting local cultural nuances, navigating various employment laws, visa regulations, compliance regulations, compliance requirements in multiple countries, building and maintaining a strong employer brand in this new market where this company is relatively unknown, and the issue of diversity and inclusion. Now, for selection process, we need to coordinate recruitment efforts across multiple regions while maintaining consistency and quality across regions, developing and implementing advanced assessment tools that can effectively evaluate technical skills, cultural fit, and leadership potential. We also need to implement measures to reduce unconscious bias in a global and diverse hiring context. We also need to leverage technology to streamline the recruitment process, enhance candidates' experience, and ensure data security. So, as an HR leader, you are tasked to develop a comprehensive global recruitment and selection strategy for this organization, and your plan should address the following key areas. One, we need to outline strategies to attract top talents in diverse international markets. So we'll just take the questions one by one. So we'll start with the first one, which is to outline strategies to attract top talents in these diverse international markets Flux wants to play in. So as our custom is, you can raise your hand and we will recognize you. But please, if we're not calling you, kindly make sure you are not muting so that there won't be noise coming in from where you are. Barnabas. Barnabas, okay. I thought he wanted to say something. So we need strategies to attract top talents everywhere across these regions. Who wants to help us? What do we need to do? Strategies to attract top talents. You know, these regions, yeah, these guys don't play there. So there may be a need for them to actually partner with local recruitment agencies specializing in these target industries and regions, because they don't play there. So if it's Nigeria, they'll be talking about all these top recruitment agencies, like, what's the name of these guys? Workforce, you know, they'll be thinking about planning with, what's the name of this? They're plenty everywhere. So in those regions also, we'll have these recruitment agencies there. So Flux may need to partner with them, you know. I think they should also leverage. Okay, let me open the comment section. I hope people are not trying to. Oh, okay. So, in addition to that, okay, Chinwe Saliu, thank you very much. Now we are talking. These are my people. They are here now. Okay, Chinwe, good evening, man.
Good evening. Thank you so much for starting us off. I think maybe just to begin to open the opportunity to think through this. One of the things that comes to mind for me is that perhaps this company might need to put out some budget for employer branding in those new markets that they want to go into. There should be some whether it's adverts or short films or whatever it is, or, that they need to now invest in to create awareness about the organization and to set themselves up to attract the right talents. So I think that piece is important.
Because they are not known. So I totally agree with you. There's need for them to put themselves out there the way they want to be perceived,
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you so much. I was going to mention capacity, but I think you've touched on it. The fact that they don't have representation there, yes, they may need to partner. I think the other thing, as well as they begin to do this, they need to think about their efficiencies as well. So what are the right partnerships in terms of maintaining the budget for this project? What sort of agents do they want to partner with? I think that's also some decision points for them as well.
Okay. Thank you very much, man.
Okay.
Prayer Apiri, yes, these are people. Prayer said one of the strategies is to analyze their pay philosophy to enable recruiter to work with their budget. Yes, there's need for them to analyze their pay philosophy so that recruiters won't overspend. Thank you very much. Okay. So who else wants to try? Job boards. I think they may also need to explore job boards in those regions. Also, LinkedIn is global, so there may be need to leverage social media platforms like LinkedIn to target passive candidates and build brand awareness, just as our sister Chinwe rightly said. Also, if they have opportunities to attend industry events, there. If it's tech, of course, if they attend tech events there, they they're likely to see some of these whiz kids, who, as we talk on Nigeria, who's at the hot, to get on board, top tech conferences. I think attending that will solve a lot of problems. Yeah, Dolapo.
I hope you can hear me. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir. We can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, so I think something to also put in mind as part of the strategies would be to take time to understand the countries or the markets, their cultural nuances, their their mode of working. And I will draw from an experience that I had very recently. I was trying to hire into one of these African markets, and at the point of discussing next steps, I discovered that one of my candidates, her husband told her not to continue. Upon reaching out to one of the recruitment agencies, I was told that that particular culture where she comes from, the husband dictates, have a lot of, would I say a lot of, stake when it comes to decisions like that. So I think also when you're entering into new markets, you need to also understand some cultural nuances, some underlying factor outside the norm, in terms of, when you have a great recruitment pitch or a great employer branding pitch, I think also what applies within those markets will also be put into consideration.
Okay, thank you very much. That's a valid point. If not, if we don't take care of this, you have said, we'll just be investing in a market that the culture is not, supporting. So that's a very valid one. Yeah, Rosemary said, can job fairs? Can job fairs be explored? Absolutely, absolutely. Just great job fairs. But again, what Chinwe said earlier will be where to start from. Putting ourselves out there, letting them know who we are and how big we really are. So that the perception can be right. Uchi.
So hi everyone. So I know that mention has been made about cultural differences and all, but I just want to mention that it's also extremely important for them to be mindful of the country specific laws and legislations. For instance, a global company who in their own country, certain things are allowed, but maybe against the law. Take, for instance, I'm going to say something a little bit sensitive around same-sex marriage and all of that, to really think how would that, if you're bringing someone like that, to a country that it's, it goes against their legislation, just to be mindful of things like that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very much. I mean, it's easy to do HR in Nigeria, since, of course, we know ourselves, but we need to build capacity to, be able to manage people across regions. And that's the reason for this. Some of us will soon get jobs that will require managing global talents. And that's the reason for this kind of discussion. So, Rosemary, your points are valid. Thank you for your contribution. So, because of time, we move straight to the next question. If you want to say something about the previous question, you can just say it when we move to the next question so that we can manage time. So, question 2 says, propose methods to build a strong employer brand in new regions. Yeah, this is what Chinwe said. So, Chinwe, yeah, this is your problem. You said we should propose, and now the question is coming to you. We need to propose methods to build a strong employer brand in these regions.
Absolutely. If I give you an example of something we do within my organization, I won't call any names, but part of what we do, the employer branding team, took our time to create short films. And what they did, since it's a global organization, they took their time to go out to Hong Kong, to India, to China, right, to get a feel of every, part of the world as it relates to employee proposition, and put together those films, which are going out everywhere on social media shortly. So in terms of how you do this, I think this is one of the things you could decide to do. The others could be, you're looking at, you have to have some metrics around this, right? So you understand, are we getting the sort of ROI on the investments we make on those strategies, whether it's your click-through rates or what, some type of metrics that could help you to determine what we're putting out there. Is it yielding results? Are we able to then convert from those people who are coming to all the things we put out? Are we able to convert that into candidates who are actually indicating an interest in coming to work with us? I'll stop there.
All right. Thank you very much. That's you've said it. Dolapo.
Okay, yeah. So I think very quickly to add to what was said initially, I think it's also important to have a very good career page, a website, maybe attached to your website that might be tailored towards that country. So, for example, if you are operating in 5 different countries, you could have a career page that depicts, your value propositions for those different locality or for those different organizations. If you have the money to spend, you can even have individual landing pages for each of those countries or each of those markets. So, for example, there are some global brands that you will see that they have just one website from the HQ, maybe in Europe. And when you now want to apply for certain jobs, you see that you are going directly to the ATS that each of those countries uses. So you might see a Nigerian ATS, you may see if you're in South Africa, you may see South Africa. And all of those is designed for you to have that look and feel of my country or where the market I'm applying into. So I also think it's important that the career page is also very optimized. All the videos that you shoot, those short films and all of that can be on that career page. The look and feel, we are people of color. It will be important to also, put pictures of people of color and not, for lack of a better word, the white pictures and all of that. Yeah, so it's also important to localize this content on the channel.
Okay, thank you very much. I mean, these are very, very good points. Rosemary said both employer value proposition and employee value propositions must be very competitive in the industry in which Flux is a player. This would help in building loyalty to the brand. Thank you very much. Okay, this would help in building loyalty to the brand. Okay, I think it's not also a bad idea if they partner with universities for internship opportunities, partner with universities, in each of these regions to get people to do internship with them. Also testimonials. They get employee testimonials and success stories that showcase, diverse career paths at the organization. That will also contribute to this employer brand that we are trying to project. Solid points so far. Thank you very much. Okay, wow, 90 people on this call. Thank you very much. We are not taking this for granted. I mean, I'm glad that all of us are here tonight trying to learn. Now, question 3, identify key metrics to measure the effectiveness of your talent acquisition strategy. This one is a simple one now, it's just a general metrics to measure the effectiveness of talent acquisition strategy. Okay, so Can we just chorus it? Who wants to try? So who wants to try? Key metrics to measure the effectiveness of a talent acquisition strategy. Number of qualified applicants per role now, Abi. I know that one is there. There is time to fill open positions, you know. Which other one? Source of hire, cost per hire. Yes, time to fill, time to hire. Thank you very much. Okay, Fatima, you want to say something?
Yes, I wanted to add quality of hire, which is also very important as well.
Yes, yes, quality of hire, you know, retention rates of new hires, performance evaluation, brand awareness metrics, total number of offers accepted. Yes, thank you very much, Ayo. Pray cost per hire. Okay, fantastic. This one, that one is a walkover for all of us. So next question says, develop a framework to ensure new hires align with Flux Technologies culture and values while respecting local cultural differences. Another way of saying this is how can HR ensure that new hires align with Flux Technologies culture and values while respecting local cultural differences. So culture, values, and these are two basic things that define an organization. So how can HR, how can you ensure that new hires align with the culture and values of this organization? I cannot hear the voice, please. Okay, I think Tony Bola, please, can someone help me respond to him or her? I think people are hearing me, so she may need to do something about her audio. Okay, Chinwe, you have the floor, please.
Thank you so much. Just a very quick response here. I think apart from the experience of the candidate during the actual hiring process, the onboarding process itself should be the next touch point that helps a new employee to understand the flavor and the taste of culture within the organization. It gives an opportunity to, do possibly with the support of technology, a download of what's important across the organization. So there should be a dedicated period when onboarding is done, and onboarding should be structured in such a way that it touches all the important aspects of the organization that helps the new employee to settle in and understand the feel and culture of his or her new workplace. Thank you.
Well, all right. Thank you very much for that. Please, our tech team, I think this thing has not exceeded 100, the participants. I hope our plan can accommodate more than 100 people. I've seen that, we got to 100 and it stopped. That's the number of participants. Please kindly check from the back end and ensure more people can, more than 100 people can join. We're at 100 now. But we are not exceeding 100. I've not seen us reached 101. So I hope we are not limited. So please kindly, technology people, kindly help. Thank you very much. Okay, onboarding, Chinwe has addressed the issue of onboarding. Oluwatobi Loba Ezekiel says HR should be able to create a platform for training and workshop. And it could be done once in 3 months. Okay, thank you very much for that contribution. Prey said robust onboarding sessions and process. Okay, yes, a bit of comfort. So now we're at 101. So that means we don't have a problem with bringing in more people. So fantastic contributions. For me, I think HR, we need to basically create a competency model that spells out not just the technical skills each role needs, but also what these companies' core values are, a blueprint for what they are looking for what they are looking for in each hire, then during interviews, they can dig into candidates' past experiences to see how they have demonstrated those values and how they would apply them in different cultural settings. So these are key for me. I think they should also use behavioral interviewing techniques to assess past experiences that demonstrate alignment with desired cultural fits. So it can include scenarios that reflect, the organization's core values, and inquire about how candidates would apply these values in different cultural contexts. So if they do that, they will be able to understand what they are dealing with in terms of the man standing in front of them. So another thing is the cultural sensitivity training. I think management should implement mandatory cultural sensitivity training modules for all HR managers, all hiring managers that will be interfacing with these people, that will be interviewing, that will be engaged in the interviewing process. It's important because we need everyone on board with the company culture, and the training will help these hiring managers to understand the different cultural perspectives and, how to assess candidates based on the organization's values. So this is key. The diversity issue is also important. We need to ensure that the panel, that will be engaging, interfacing with these candidates, they are of diverse backgrounds, because, individuals bring different viewpoints to the table. So we need people who get Flux culture, but also understand how things work locally in those regions, in those countries. So having that mix will really help the team to gauge if candidates will fit in and contribute positively. So as you are looking at the candidates, you're also looking at the team, or engaging with the candidates to ensure that we're not seeing things from the same black and white perspective. People should bring diverse perspectives into the table when it comes to this interviewing issue. Integration and onboarding programs, we've dwelled so much on it. There's no need to overflogging it. Regular cultural assessments, they need to conduct regular assessments on the organizational culture in each of these regional offices to ensure alignment with Flux Technologies' global values, and maybe help management also stay on top of how things are shaping up in each of these regions. So policies also, there's need to adapt policies and practices as needed to accommodate. We can't just keep a static one. We need to constantly adapt, these policies to ensure that we accommodate cultural diversity, on an ongoing basis, while maintaining consistency in our core values. We took the policy to ensure that we accommodate this cultural diversity without affecting the cultural values, our core values that we have. With this, they can make sure that they are fostering inclusivity and respect for different cultures without losing sight of the core values of the organization. Also, if they factor in clear KPIs to measure things like, cultural fit and inclusion, so they know where they stand and where they need to improve on. So fantastic contributions so far. And without much ado, I just want us to move to the next question, which is question 5. And it reads, suggest onboarding programs that can facilitate the integration of new employees into Flux Technologies culture. onboarding programs that can facilitate the integration of new employees into these organizations' culture. Okay, well, where are onboarding people? So who wants to try? We're asked to suggest onboarding programs that can ensure these new employees fit in. I think we can try a structured approach. Just a structured approach. A multi-phase onboarding program that will include a mix of formal and informal elements. That's one. Maybe they can have a comprehensive orientation session that covers the organization's core values, missions, visions, etc. Okay, Fatima, yes, thank you for rescuing me.
Okay, well, I'll just take it up from what you started saying. After, having the initial orientation, the warm welcome, of course, introducing the company's culture, mission, values, that you can proceed to the informal type, such as the buddy system, that's pairing employees, of course, with experienced colleagues so that they get familiarized with their new environment, and also provide a support system for them. Can also have the mentor-mentee relationship, also involve maybe managers, management, that's ensure managers play, active roles that in the onboarding process. After that, you can also engage in ongoing support. After some time, you keep guiding the new employees beyond the initial onboarding phase. You check up on them, you track their progress, collect data, make necessary adjustments where possible, and then, ensure that they improve where there's a need to. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. The mentor-mentee thing, I absolutely align, with that. Beyond the, formal trainings, people also said orientation should be organized regularly. Okay, thank you, Rosemary. Peggy said training platforms should be introduced. Okay. Olukayode introduced company values and culture during interviews, cultural mentorship programs. Thank you very much, Rosemary. Short videos which reflect what Flux stands for should be introduced. Bodies should also be used. Yeah, thank you very much. I think there should be a lot of team building activities also, collaboration workshops, cross-cultural communication and collaboration workshops can be organized. Okay, Dr. Remed, Patricia, specialized programs that can be put together to include related outdoor activities. Yes, team building activities can be organized just to ensure that these people bond well and they are well integrated into the system. Fantastic contributions so far. Thank you very much. So we move to the next question, which is question 6. It is asking us to, I saw a hand up. Sorry, who was that? Please, can you come back? Just unmute and speak.
Oh, it's Dolapo. Yeah.
Okay, please go ahead. Shoot.
Just very quickly to add, since we're treating a company that is just expanding into a market, that means that there may not be existing workforce.
Dolapo, can you speak up a bit? Can you just speak up a bit? Thank you very much.
Okay, is it better now?
Yes, it's better.
All right, so I said since Flux seems to be a new business expanding into new markets, we can assume that they may not have existing talents or workforce in those new markets. So I think as part of the onboarding process, should Flux have enough money to bring some of the first set of talents into the home country. That's where the HQ is, to understand certain procedures, get imbibed into the system, and then of course do a transfer of knowledge when they get back to their countries or their markets. I think it's also very important. In situations that you can't fly them in, it's also important to have, cultural ambassadors or value ambassadors as an organization that you can take down to those new markets to, in form of induct the new set of employees into what is the culture and value of the organization. And of course, the cultural diversity is something that is also important to also touch base on. So I just thought to point that out also, that should we have new markets, I think that's also important.
Okay, thank you very much. If they can't fly them to a central location, I mean, they can take champions, to each of those regions, to ensure this onboarding thing works. Thank you very much. Yeah, John Caron,
Thank you very much. During the onboarding process, I believe there are some games could be introduced in order to improve diversity, to enhance cross-cultural or cross-disciplinary bonding, because this is very, very important in the course of the work. Because when we're talking about inclusion, diversity, and things like that, we're talking about gender and all those things. In addition to having it as a policy, it is good during the onboarding program for the new staff to introduce such things, games that will enhance such collaborations. And it's also important that even at the point of advertisement, some of these, diversity policies, it's very important that we will look for it also, even in the as criteria for recruitment. Thank you very much.
God bless you. Thank you very much. God help you that you have some of these agencies who are always talking about, their mental health. Any small thing, you are impacting their mental. any small, you are impacting their mental health. Oh God! If you get it wrong at the onboarding stage, I mean, you will just get there and become, become Tom and Jerry, in the office. So I mean, we can't overflow this issue. Kind of emphasize it. It's just important. If you get it wrong at the onboarding stage, we're going to have a very toxic culture. It will be difficult for people to align, and they can easily gang up. You can see clusters of people ganging up against themselves. So thank you very much for this game thing you brought into this discussion. Dr. Daria Ajayi, thank you very much. That's the chairman of Learning and Development Committee, the Professional Development Committee at CIPM Ogun State branch. Thank you for coming. Dr. Ekundayo Olorundare, I recognize you especially. Thank you very much. We have PhD holders here, in HR, in all manner of disciplines. Thank you. So I'm covered tonight. Covered. The one way I know Sabi, I have people to back me up to rescue me. All right. Okay, Dr. Lai, you want to say something?
Mr. Chair, I'm good, sir.
Oh, all right. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Okay, so next question, we are to highlight the legal and regulatory challenges in the target regions and propose solutions to ensure compliance. Okay. They are talking now. The compliance people, the regulatory people. They said code of conduct. Olufunke said code of conduct, work ethics must be clearly communicated, while new staff should also be conversant with the company's consequence management framework. Thank you very much. That's very, very valid. Thank you very much. Let me look at previous. Okay, introduce company value and culture during interview and contract mentorship. Program. Okay. Sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, we can now.
So sorry. Okay, so sorry. Somebody was tampering with my data, we are still in Nigeria, God helps us. Okay, so someone said labor laws of the countries in each region must be clearly understood. Yeah. If not, you go and run foul of the law. They're Chinwe.
Yes, just adding on to the idea of a good understanding of the labor laws, there might also be a need to understand the data standards as well that are applicable in each country. Let's take, for instance, we talk about gathering employee data using systems, HR systems. In a place like Poland, for instance, you're not allowed to release row level data, granular data, diversity data of candidates, right? So wherever, if you have a landing page based on your employer branding initiatives, you must clearly state there that you will not use that data at a granular level. You only look at it as aggregates. So you need to understand some of those requirements per country, and in that manner, invest wisely to ensure that your HR systems support you to be compliant with those laws per region. Thank you.
You don't just think that, other countries are like Nigeria where anything goes, Thank you very much. Okay, John Carlo, you are muted. Also, Shegun, you are muted. You want to say something?
Well,
Yes, I can hear you.
yeah, what I was actually about to say was that even at the point of onboarding, the code of conduct, ethical standard, and code should be communicated to the new staff. And also, it's important to ensure that they signed a copy of such as an acknowledgement that it has been communicated to them. This will really help them in their day-to-day operation in the organization. They will know what they can do and what they cannot do. The code of conduct and ethical standard is very, very important in the day-to-day operation. So once this is communicated to them during the onboarding, and they have also signed a copy of it, that means there is a buying in. And once there is a buying in, it is more relatively easier to enforce. Thank you.
With all these things we are saying, I think for me, if I'm the vice president HR of that organization, I'm just going to partner with legal and immigration specialists in each of these target regions to ensure compliance. Because you can't assume I'm in Nigeria. How will I know what's happening in Poland? How will I know the laws available at Australia? Am I going to be reading all the all the laws there? You just partner. I think there may be a need for us to engage legal practitioners, legal advisors from each of those regions. If not, there's also a need for us to understand their laws, but we may not be able to understand it deeply. So while we are trying to study their law, the various employment laws, there's need for us to also engage lawyers, immigration specialists in each of those regions to help us out. Now, let me go to the comment section. Dolapo, I'm coming to you. Let me quickly look at what they have said. Okay. Olufunke said, line of communication must be well established for effective and efficient administration. Thank you very much. During onboarding, code of conduct, ethical standards should be well communicated, and copies should be made available to them. Okay, you've said that. Thank you very much. Okay, Dolapo, you want to say something?
Yeah, so I think just to add to what you had mentioned in terms of partnering with legal, or immigration legal experts in this country, I just remembered an experience that I had. And just the way you just think in Nigeria that you can hire, that is probationary period. If the person is not doing well, you can just let go, provide your notice and all of that. Contrary to that, I had an experience that you have different processes, and it's mandated by law, guaranteed by law, to carry out before you can outrightly terminate. So I didn't know about this until I sat down with a legal expert to explain those parts. So it's very important. So there has to be different sets of warnings. You have to have done PIP even before getting to that last resort of cutting tires. In Nigeria, sometimes you just say anything goes. But in some other advanced countries, you dare not try that. So it's also very important to partner. You can't read all the laws. You can't understand all. Even our Nigerian labor law says you have not understood it finish. So
no, talk
talk
of
of
going to
understanding
cram other people's laws as well.
Exactly. So it's also important to just take that thing. If the company is willing to invest in it to avoid future challenges. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we move to question 7. Rosemary says tax audit experts should also be partnered with in those countries. Yes, the legal advisor will help us do that. The legal advisor will help us do that. Please, Chinwe, look at the comment section. There are questions for you there. Why you are battling with that. Let's move to question 7. So when you are about to comment, you can just answer them. Okay, question 7 says design advanced assessment tools and techniques for evaluating candidate skills, cultural fit, and the leadership potential. This one gets a CBO. Design advanced assessment tools and techniques for evaluating candidate skills, cultural fit, and leadership potential. There's one name that comes to mind, the STAR model, this STAR method. That's the first thing in my mind now. Some of us never reach for now, but I know we will need this STAR method. We need to incorporate these behavioral assessments into this whole assessment tools. I know it will help us understand how candidates have handled situation in the past, and this is going to be a great indicator to their future performance. As Sunday go be now, from Saturday we didn't know. So tools like the STAR method, for some of us who don't know what STAR means, situation, task, action, results. That's what it means. And this is not the kind of platform to begin to break it down, but for the sake of, I know not all of us are core HR practitioners, so let me just quickly explain to us. The S there for situation. We can ask questions around the past experiences of these candidates, to understand the context of the scenario they were in. We may ask them to set the scene so we understand the background that they are coming from. So from what they say, we'll be able to understand the situation they were in. The task, what example can I give now? Task basically is what their specific responsibilities was in each of those situations, and there is need for us to know the role they played, in each of those situations that they found themselves. A stands for action, and they are basically steps that they took to address, each of these tasks, that they performed. And this is important because it will show us their problem-solving skills and initiatives. And then the R stands for results, and I think result is the outcome of their actions, and it will help us see the impact of their efforts. So this is needful in each of the interviews for us to ask this kind of questions, so that that's behavioral assessment questions to see how they will act, in this kind of situation, and then we'll be able to assess their situation, the tasks, the actions, and the results. So I've given you expo. That's an expo to all of us. So I open the floor for other models. This is not, it's not only the STAR model that we should be looking at now. Advanced assessment tool. There are a lot of them for us to assess these candidates. So, okay, case studies. Oh, excellent. Yeah, thank you. Fatima, yeah, over to you.
Okay. For the leadership potential aspect, I would suggest the 9-box grid where you evaluate
Yes.
them based on the hypo and the hyper.
Wait, they are not you don't know them. The 9-box grid will work well if you are promoting internally, if you are recruiting internally.
Okay, these ones are coming from.
Yeah, these ones are coming from outside. So you don't know who is the hypo, who is the high, the high performance person, who is high, potential person. It is when you have data that you can, begin to plug,
Okay, I guess just perhaps with the interview method, the behavioral assessments, like you mentioned.
Psychometric testing will also help. These are Myers-Briggs, I mean, extraversion, introversion, intuitive person, sensors. Which one is the third dichotomy now? I think thinkers and feelers, and then the last one, judges and perceivers. ENTP, INTJ, all of those ones. If we administer this psychometric testing, it will help us, evaluate their personality traits and cognitive abilities. Yes, I saw a hand. Sorry, I think it's Dolapo.
Yeah, so I think defining the competencies, simple way to do it, just define the competencies that you're looking for per department, per role. It's very easy then to now have standard questions that can best show those competencies. So if you want to follow the structured approach, that can be used during interviews to screen out persons. Since they said advanced techniques, then you can now go the psychometric way. You can use some assessment platforms where you just have to select the competencies that you are looking for, and they will suggest questions that you can deploy to candidates to test. That can also, for the culture fit, is also something that you define internally. You also need to align what's your culture, what are the values, what questions can you ask to show that this person have the experience or have or can work within your system in terms of your culture and your values. So it's just defining. So I know, okay, leadership, what are the questions that I can ask in terms of showing that this person have leadership traits? You can have that structured. What are the questions that I can have that will show that this person falls into our different values? Oh, let's say our values are integrity, transparency, and or whatnot. You need to have structured questions that can actually show the existence or non-existence of that trait in any person. And then, of course, the STAR methodology then comes in. The way you structure those questions, you should be able to let the person express themselves in that methodology of the situation, the task, the action, and the results. Yeah, so I think that would help to do that. So you can use any of those testing platforms. There's and a lot of that.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think your point is basically, that we should prepare. Nothing should catch us by surprise.
Exactly.
Preparing ahead of time. If we are using the STAR method, I mean, we need to prepare questions that will elicit, the required response from, these candidates. It's not the interview table that will be cracking our head, to know what we want to ask, the questions we want to ask the person to elicit, the STAR, from him. All right. So what other, I think we should also things around technical skills assessments, technical skills assessments. And if you are, if you are recruiting internally, if these people are applying for the role from within the organization, maybe a 360-degree feedback tool can be beneficial. That's what I think is Fatima that was talking about, this 9-box grid. A 360-degree approach can work, but it can work if you are recruiting internally. You'll be able to carry out these assessments. Okay, so let's move to the next question. Develop strategies to minimize bias and enhance the fairness of the selection. Oh yeah, strategies to minimize bias during this interview process. Okay, Delako said define. Okay, I think you've made this point. What happened? So sorry. Okay. What's going on? Okay. The labor employment space in Nigeria is no longer okay. We have dealt with those issues. Okay, Chinwe, the GP. Okay, Chinwe is responding to all the people that asked our questions. Okay, you want to say something?
I can just quickly chip in. Okay, so the point I was trying to make is that yes, there are those data standards which a country like Poland, for instance, that I mentioned is signed on, but the intention here is to ensure that you are compliant. Being in a different country is not an excuse not to be compliant. So if, for instance, you've got global recruiters who are recruiting from outside Poland, for instance, they're expected to maintain those GDPR standards. It is basically how are you collecting their data, how are you processing it, how are you storing it. So if risking, rather than risk compliance, rather than risk not being compliant, you have to ensure that your HR systems are up to date, are wired in such a way that they can protect you as an organization. Definitely not leaving it to recruiters to manually try to effect compliance. So in the scenario that I mentioned earlier, we just don't touch data specifically from Poland when it comes to those sensitive data, because that's the requirements that the country has put forward to my organization. Yes. Then I wanted to quickly say something on number 8, to developing strategies to minimize bias and enhance fairness of the selection process. I think there are multiple touch points. One could be that, first of all, ensuring that there's an unbiased, diverse panel. One thing about life is people tend to gravitate towards people that look like them. So look like them, think like them, act like them. So just making sure that there's a variety of persons on the hiring panel. I think that's important. Also, even going all the way back to what job descriptions look like, there are ways that you can word a job description and a woman will look at it and decide that this is not a job for a woman. So it's as far as attempting to be without bias in the wordings of your job descriptions, in your hiring panels as well. All of this contributes to it. And then also maybe setting up some type of bias trainings for hiring managers, even across the organization, just to create that awareness that sometimes we might be moving around with bias, not just knowing it. There are people who would say, I won't hire someone because they've plaited their hair as a man and he has some twists in his hair. But nowadays, you find a lot of young people, young men, that's the hairstyle they carry around, but it doesn't mean that they can't deliver on the, on the job or help productivity in your organization. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay, Joshua Alawiye, thank you for joining us. I said great points and contributions from Chinwe. Yeah, Chinwe is one of, in fact, I also hand over the platform to her to be coordinating us because she's the one that's killing me. If not, our people won't. If you are not here now, a lot of some of our, I don't want to call it the name that we used to call it. They say breeze blew, fire and ash open, but thank you for always helping out to provide great insights into the discussion. Okay, quick one. I know at the time we were up to like 115 on this call. Before we start dropping the call, our time is up and we have just 2 more questions to go. So if you are not on the TAN HR Professionals Network WhatsApp group, please, I've shared in the chat room now, I've shared the link to our WhatsApp group. So please kindly click to ensure you go there. Reaching us is expensive. We have to engage Eventbrite, all manner of communications before we can reach us. So please kindly click that URL in the chat room. Please, everybody go to the chat room. If you are not on the TAN HR Professionals Network, that's group, WhatsApp group, please just click it and join us. Also, we can share LinkedIn profiles so that we can follow ourselves and take this conversation to LinkedIn. Let's connect with ourselves online. I've taken the lead by sharing mine. It's there now. So please, as we continue this conversation, just drop yours there, and we won't be in a hurry to end this meeting. We'll ensure we connect with all the LinkedIn profiles shared on that platform. Okay, thank you, Mr. Sean, for the platform provided. I found these sessions very insightful. Oh, thank you very much. You are the one making it insightful now. Look at you, the wine. You are the one making it insightful, Shinwe. Thank you very much for being here. Okay, question 9. Recommend technological solutions to streamline the recruitment process, enhance candidate experience, and ensure data security. So where are the HRIS people? Of course, for recruitment, they need to implement ATS, applicant tracking system, to manage applications and streamline communication. So that one is there. Video conferencing in this, globalized world, we need video conferencing platforms, to interview candidates remotely. Platforms like Teams, Microsoft Teams, like Zoom, which other technological solution? Even AI, artificial intelligence for onboarding purposes. And I'm aware now that there are HRIS that you can integrate, artificial intelligence with to help you interact with LinkedIn and bring candidates' profiles to you without you going to search for them. So is there any other technology that we can talk? I think it's basically HRIS. Our own matter no hard like that. Once you have ATS, you have HRIS. I think you are good to go. Every other thing is just Jara, like that. Because we also need, content management system. It's also an HR thing. You need a platform to push contents to for engagement. It's not only you bring people in, you also need to be concerned about, this thing, giving them experience, a very robust experience. So the last question, and then we go. Develop initiatives to promote diversity and inclusion in different cultural contexts. Diversity and inclusion. Develop initiatives to promote diversity and inclusion in different cultural contexts. So maybe we partner with diversity and inclusion organizations to assess talent pools from underrepresented groups, people with disabilities, and all of that. Also, we kind of overflow this issue. We've talked about, developing unconscious bias trainings, for both the employees and the interviewers. We can also overlook that. Whatever it is we can do to foster a sense of belonging for all employees, we should continue to do that. And then we also need to track and analyze workforce demographics to, identify potential areas of improvement. So that's where we draw the curtain tonight. Thank you for coming. This is huge. Great learning sessions tonight, very interactive. Thank you for coming tonight. So we will meet by the grace of God. We'll see next week. We'll meet same time next week. For those joining the prayers, please remember your prayers Wednesday morning, 5 a.m. And for the rest of us, we'll continue the conversation on our WhatsApp group, and then we will meet for another highly refreshing session next week, Sunday. Till then, signing out from here. God bless you. Bye for now.